Video archive 13, EVGO, long, trade duration, 2 trading days, November 13th to 14th, 2023. Entry, $2.48. Exit, $3.10. Gain, 25%. This is my trading chart. All right, on the screen, you can now see the trade I am going to lay out, the reasoning behind right here. As you can see, if we zoom out, we can see this encompassing channel of price action since the origin. I don't have it drawn all the way back, but you can see that it goes. Every time we touch the bottom, top, 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 center line to top, bottom. So there's part of the macro perspective. If we zoom in here now, once and go to the 1 hour, we can see at this point, once we took back the 50 period moving average, gapped over it, boom, came back, put in the first or the second touch on this diagonal trend line I have drawn in, proceeded to gap up again, come back. And on this retest, this is confluent with the Rocky outcrop flash, which is an indicator that Rocky outcrop created. The flash targets are something else. That's a big part of the reason I entered here at 248, which if you look is literally the low of that candle. So I bottom ticked it perfectly. Holding that 50 period moving average, which is confluent with that diagonal trend line. And if we look down here on the RSI signature, we have this. So not just touches of divergence, you know, here and here, but also across the two lows here and here, there and there. So great reason to enter right there. We can also see there's clear support at this level. Previously kind of acted as resistance there. There. One more macro thing I wanted to point out was we have 100% hit rate, success rate on this RSI crossing over its own moving average on the weekly. I'll put in vertical lines at all the cross points, and you can just look up with your eyes here and see the, and it's not just when it crosses over like right here, but when it actually comes down towards the bearish control zone. Oh, I guess, never mind. That is one right there. And we just got this signal right now. Part of my exit at 310. The reasoning behind that is, as you can see, we have a 50 period daily 50 period moving average that's confluent with the center line of the channel. And if you look to the left, you can see before the big breakdown right here, where we put in all-time lows, we kind of have this, we had this formation on the go. It's kind of brought there this right here. This is what I'm looking at. Not this far back from there. And that 310 exit point that I took is basically the center of that broadening wedge. Then one other thing I want to point out on this chart that is a clear indication of what's going on here with the market structure is if we turn on our magnet tool and let's measure the slope of these rises. And the slopes aren't exactly the same, but they're close, as you can see. But what I want to draw your attention to mostly here is look at, it's the range. Literally every up oscillation is this range that was defined by the all-time low put in right here to that first local high. Boom. So I didn't take that full measured move, which I clearly could have gotten out at 335. I exited at 310 because of this resistance I expected and that center line on the downward sloping channel. Then one other thing about this market structure I noticed was we have a similar, you know, there's that wick, which extends the bit of, that's just a bit of volatility. But if you just measure it from that first high right there, I mean, that's the same elasticity of price down. Once again, the same minus, or I guess you'd say plus this extra little bit of volatility, which is actually where I took my entry on a trade I have open right now at 282, right at this horizontal, but that's not what we're talking about right now. So that is my first EVGO trade. There's a couple more coming because I expect this to continue and fill a flash up at 356, potentially 420, and go for a touch of this top side of the channel, which is confluent with the 50-period moving average, which we have seen happen every single time the RSI took back its own moving average. Boom. So are we headed to $5? We will find out. That is my trading charted.